New England's on my mind again. See them old Berkshire Hills.
Spicebush prefers shady edges of woods and sometimes is found near streams. Every part of this small native shrub is aromatic. Just scratch and sniff to smell its mild citrusy flavor. Another way to identify it is to look for the winter flower buds clustered along the branches. These develop into delicate, edible yellow flowers in mid-April. They bloom before the leaves emerge. Its bark is covered with tiny dots that make it look like a pretzel sprinkled with salt. This shrub has toothless oval leaves with pointed tips that grow alternately on the branches. Grab a few, crush and rub on your skin as an anti-mosquito repellent. There's an added bonus to doing this. You'll smell good. If you see a rolled up leaf, perhaps a Spicebush Swallowtail butterfly larva has set up temporary shelter there. Wait a few days, and you might discover a caterpillar that resembles a miniature snake. Then watch it change color as it gets ready to become a chrysalis. Fresh leaves make a mild infusion in the spring or summer. Avoid dried ones as they lose flavor. Take a handful and place in a glass jar with cold or room temperature water. Cover and shake to get the leaves to stay on the bottom. Oops, they didn't, but it's not a problem. Put the jar in the sun for 6 hours or more. Strain out the leaves, then chill if you want an iced version. I prefer the more pronounced flavor of the twigs. They're easy to gather and found all year round when there's little else available. Both Native Americans and colonists use them for tea. To make some, break off a handful, place in 1½ cups water, and heat gently for 5 minutes. Turn the heat off and let steep for 5 minutes more. Don't boil the twigs. It'll make the tea bitter. Cook hot cereals in this tea water for a cinnamon-like flavor. Since twigs are obtainable during sugaring season, and I have access to a maple tree in my yard, I tap it and use its sap water to brew my tea. The subtle flavor of this liquid makes the drink tasty enough, so adding extra sweetener is unnecessary. Years ago, SSS tonic was a popular spring drink in Appalachia. A product of the same name is sold today, but contains none of the ingredients I use. My version combines sassafras roots with spicebush and sweet birch twigs. To brew it, first simmer some sassy roots in water for about 10 to 15 minutes. The longer they're heated, the stronger their flavor will be. Then remove the roots. Add spicebush and sweet birch pieces to the pan. Cover and let steep for 15 minutes. Spicebush shrubs are either male or female. In August, females produce oval green berries. Don't eat them. I took a small bite from one and it tasted like the bitter rind of an orange. Yuck! Wait until early September when berries turn bright red. These aren't sweet. They're primarily used as a flavoring. Shrubs don't produce much fruit where I live, so I limit my harvest to a few berries. Then critters can have some too. Each berry has one seed, which can be removed from the red skin and pulp. Since both pulp and seeds are edible, I tried to squash whole berries with a mortar and pestle. It didn't work too well. Some of the pulp got juicy, and the seeds were hard to crush. So I went back to taking out the seeds from the skins by hand. Both fresh and dried seeds can be chopped up separately. Dried pulp turns dark from oxidation. This doesn't affect the taste. Before and after you process berries, store them in the refrigerator or freezer. They're high in fat and may become rancid if left out. Use fresh berries as a seasoning in this applesauce recipe. Dice a few of them, seeds and all, and combine them with sliced apples, dates, roasted walnuts, and a pinch of cinnamon. Place this mixture in a pan and simmer until the apples soften. Serve hot or cold. American colonists used dried berries as a substitute for allspice, and I do too. Even though I occasionally collect berries, I tend to focus more on spicebush twigs since they're more abundant and accessible all year. Now it's up to you to decide. Since spicebush flowers, leaves, twigs, and berries are edible, give one or all of them a try.